Heading down.
The skies, once a symbol of human innovation and freedom, have turned into a stage for terrifying mysteries. In 2024 alone, planes have fallen from the sky at an alarming rate. Engines fail with no warning. Communication systems black out mid-flight. And pilots, some of the most experienced professionals in the world, are describing encounters that defy explanation. Official reports point to mechanical malfunctions, pilot errors, and unpredictable weather. But if that's the case, why do these incidents share the same disturbing patterns? Today, we explore the unnerving rise in aviation incidents, strange events that defy logic, and the unsettling forces that might be taking control of our skies. The numbers tells a story, a grim, unsettling story. In just the first 3 months of 2024, global aviation incidents have surged by 37%. 53 major accidents documented across the globe, 53 in just 90 days. What could explain such a sudden rise? January 5th, Flight 216 from Dallas to Denver, cruising at 35,000 feet when the autopilot disengages without warning. The entire electrical system goes dark. Pilots report seeing a dark, cylindrical object matching the plane's trajectory. January 17th, over Brazilian airspace. A commercial jet suddenly loses contact with ground control for 18 long, agonizing minutes. When communication is restored, the captain's voice is trembling as he describes 3 glowing orbs circling the aircraft before vanishing without a trace. February 3rd, on a European charter flight goes down in a dense forest. The survivors, shaken and confused, recall a metallic hum vibrating through the cabin just moments before impact. Authorities blame mechanical malfunctions, electrical interference, and unpredictable weather. But the witnesses, the ones who lived through it, tell a different story. Pilots are trained to remain calm in the face of the unexpected. They rely on science, not speculation. Every decision they make is guided by data and decades of experience. But in recent months, more and more aviators have begun to voice concerns about phenomena that don't appear in any manual. Anomalies that challenge everything they thought they knew about the skies. In dozens of reports submitted anonymously, pilots describe the same recurring patterns: shadowy objects pacing their planes at impossible speeds, strange vibrations disrupting cockpit instruments with no identifiable cause, and radar blips that vanish the moment air traffic control attempts to lock onto them. These aren't isolated events. They're happening more often and under eerily similar circumstances. One experienced captain with over 20 years of international flight experience recounted a chilling encounter while cruising over the Pacific. Without warning, the autopilot disengaged. Alarms sounded. The crew scrambled to regain control. And then, outside the window, the captain saw it, a black, featureless mass hovering alongside the aircraft, silent, motionless, yet matching the plane's speed perfectly. And then, as suddenly as it appeared, it shot straight upward, piercing the clouds and vanishing without a trace. The aviation industry dismisses these accounts as misidentified drones, sensor malfunctions, or pilot fatigue. But these reports aren't coming from amateur skywatchers. They're coming from trained professionals, experienced aviators across the globe, pilots who know their instruments, pilots who now question just how much control we really have over our skies. What could explain this sudden rise in aviation anomalies? Scientists and investigators have put forth several possibilities, some more conventional than others. The most widely accepted theory points to solar activity. Earth is currently in the peak of solar cycle 25, a phase marked by intense solar flares and geomagnetic storms. These cosmic disturbances can disrupt GPS signals and communication systems. In March 2024, an X-class solar flare temporarily knocked out navigation signals across North America. Could similar solar activity be interfering with aviation systems? But critics argue that solar activity alone doesn't explain the sightings of structured, physical objects. Others speculate about electromagnetic interference from military experiments. During the Cold War, various governments tested high-energy microwave weapons capable of jamming aircraft electronics. Have these secretive tests resumed, this time within civilian airspace? And then there's the theory that sparks the most debate, the phantom aircraft theory. According to some researchers, advanced unidentified aerial vehicles are actively observing and possibly interacting with commercial aircraft. Silent, shadowy, untraceable. If this theory is correct, we may not be alone in our skies. Strange encounters in the skies are not unique to 2024. Similar incidents have occurred throughout aviation history, leaving behind more questions than answers. During World War II, Allied pilots reported glowing orbs following their planes across Europe and the Pacific. These mysterious lights were nicknamed Foo Fighters, and despite extensive investigation, their origins remain unknown. In the 1970s, civilian pilots across the United States described black, triangular craft with no visible engines or markings. Official explanations attributed the sightings to experimental stealth aircraft. Yet the descriptions often didn't match any known designs. Then there's the case of Frederick Valentich. In 1978, the young Australian pilot radioed Melbourne Control to report a metallic object hovering above his plane. His final transmission described the object as unlike any conventional aircraft. Moments later, Valentich vanished. His plane was never recovered. The eerie similarities between these historical events and today's aviation anomalies raise an unsettling question. Are we witnessing a new chapter of an age-old phenomenon? As investigators continue to analyze recent incidents, one pattern stands out. These unexplained events cluster near busy international flight corridors. High-altitude airways over the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic regions appear to be particularly affected. More than half of the pilots who reported sightings described shadowy, craft-like objects pacing their planes for several minutes before vanishing. In most cases, onboard equipment simultaneously experienced brief but unexplained malfunctions. Experts struggle to find a conventional explanation. Are these incidents the result of atmospheric conditions, human technology being tested beyond public knowledge, or could it be something else entirely? Whatever the cause, one fact remains clear. The skies are no longer as predictable or as safe as we once believed. Humanity has conquered the skies, but perhaps we were never alone up there. For decades, mysterious objects have danced at the edges of our understanding, glimpsed but never grasped. Now, as unexplained incidents increase, one question grows harder to ignore. What or who is moving above us? The skies aren't as empty as we once believed. Fly safe.